Thank you, Toastmaster Hussain, for warm introduction and welcome everybody. I have only one submission. This is going to be a very interactive session. So I'm going to ask questions, and if I tell you to put your input in the chat box, please put your input in the chat box. And if I ask question, you unmute yourself and raise your hand, or you just speak out. Okay, whenever I'm going to ask something. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen. Just tell me if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
Okay. So this is all about looking through your glass. Okay. So before I get started, I would like to ask you this thing. Do you remember the first time you stood up on the stage? If you are a Toastmaster, you have been standing on the stage, virtual or the real one, number of times. And if you are not yet a Toastmaster, I'm sure in your office you would be standing on some stage at some point in time, right? It's hardly it's very difficult to find out somebody who hasn't stood on some stage and have spoken something about it and have said anything at all. Okay, so now my question is, what goes in your mind when you just got started and have delivered a speech? What goes in your mind? Anybody wants to say anything?
Whether I will forget all the points or not.
Wonderful. Whether I'll forget anything or not. Yeah, Avijit, you raised your hand. You can unmute yourself and can speak. Avijit?
Yeah.
So what goes in your mind when you speak? I think we can't hear you, Avijit. I'll come back to you. Okay. So what goes...
Sorry.
Avijit, your voice is not audible.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible. Yeah.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
So what goes in my mind really is that will I be able to deliver what I've prepared? Will I remember all those points and the entire presentation?
Sure. So Pradeep also said the same thing, almost similar thing.
And what
goes in the
think?
mind? Yeah, what goes in the mind is whether I'll be able to deliver. Wonderful. And the second thing is whether people will accept me. Okay, so this is what goes in the mind of the speaker. But I'm not going to talk about what goes and how the speaker overcomes that. Today's session is what goes in the mind, who is in the audience, who is going to evaluate the speaker. Okay, and many times, most of the times, we as audience members are going to evaluate a speaker, whether we deliver an evaluation or not, whether we are going to give feedback, formal feedback to that speaker in verbal form or in written form or not, right? So that way, all the time, we are playing the role of evaluator if we are in the audience. In next 10 minutes or 12 to 15 minutes to be precise, I'm going to give you three tips which will improve, at least which has improved my game as a speaker. And I'm sure if you are playing the role of a speaker, or if you are giving any kind of feedback to any person, if also as a manager, if you are giving a feedback, or as a team member, you are giving a feedback to another person in your team, these are going to be relevant. The first thing out of these 3 points is this. Raise your hand if you don't know this person. Nobody will say that, right? So you know this person. Mahendra Singh Dhoni has played for so many years. You know how many one days he has played? He has played one days, more than 90 one days. More than 350 one days. And more than 90 tests he has played for India. What is interesting is that in a one-day match, there are 50 overs, right? So 50 overs and he's behind the wicket. He, squats behind the wicket. He goes up and down, like for every ball he goes up and down. So 50 overs in one-day match. So this is 50 into 6, 300 balls at least. If there are no balls and white, it could be more. So 300 balls in a one-day match and 350 such matches, and 90 test matches. Into test matches one day it could be 90 overs. Like if India is bowling, it could be 90 overs. So 90 into 6 means 540. More than 500, around 550 balls is going up and down. Okay, but Have you seen him missing catches that many, missing stumps, runouts? So what that means? That means he's always there, in spirit, in body, in mind. Every time he's there, he's always ready. Eyes, brains, fitness, in terms of every department, he's always working. I think if you want to be an evaluator, there is something which you should learn. You don't want to evaluate a speech or something. You always remain an evaluator. You always be ready. Even if you are not evaluating, even if I have not been evaluating Supradeep's speech today, in my mind, that thread of evaluation, what is this content? What story he's talking about? Is he being able to connect? Like, what if I want to talk about two things which is good in his speech, and if he comes to me after the speech is over, what will be those 2 points? And if I have to critique him only for 2 things, what will be those 2 things? Okay. So you always be ready as an evaluator. And as Hussein has mentioned that you share your feedback with the speaker on the private chat. I don't know how many of you have done that, but that is very important. And if you are always ready as a speaker, you will be able to deliver impactful and useful feedback to the speaker, and not just to speaker, as I said, to other people as well. Like in your interaction, in your family, in your teams, you will be able to share that point. So always be ready. And what are their arsenal? Absorbing, like Toastmasters, like we are like blotting papers. Things are happening. We are all blotting, like blotting papers. We are absorbing the content. We are analyzing this in our mind, like just like real-time analytics, right? We are analyzing this in our mind. Then we are arranging our thoughts, organizing our thoughts, and also articulating the thoughts, so that people can hear, they can get motivated, they can make use of it. And I'm not using the term motivated consciously, because that is what I'm going to talk after a while. What is the science behind motivation? When you give feedback, how you motivate people. But for this point, always be ready. Okay. But if you want to be ready, there are two aspects which you need to be aware of. If you really want to give good feedback to somebody, you want to have these 2 personality traits. What are these 2? Anybody? Just unmute yourself. First, top 2. Firstest finger first. First 2 persons. Nobody? Is everybody listening?
Hi.
Am I
Yes.
on mute? Yeah.
So first
Yes,
thing is that you have to be very attentive while the other person is delivering, and that is where you will be able to provide the feedback.
Absolutely attentive. So so attentive you become, like that's a action you do. But what is the trait? Like what has to be there so that you are attentive?
Interest.
Yeah, you
Listening.
have to be curious. You have to be curious. What is going to say? What I can learn from this? Like even if not an evaluator, as an audience member, what I can learn from this? Okay. And there is a second thing. What is the second aspect? This is a very quintessential, I should say, trait of an evaluator. So what is this?
Maybe is it something to do with connecting with the speaker?
Yeah, it is empathy. I should place myself in the position of the speaker, so that if I am to do this speech once more, what I should improve. I need to have the speaker's interest in my mind. Otherwise, I will not reach out and will share frank feedback. How to share feedback?
It's a give and take, I think.
Yeah, no, so I'm saying empathy. You have to love the fact that you are going to give a gift in the form of your feedback. So that's why you need to, of course, everything in life is give and take. So if you do good things will come to you. So that is the law of karma says that. But I'm saying you have to have empathy towards the speaker. Unless and until you have that, we will be too arrogant as speaker. Because if we just think from our point of reference or frame of reference, we'll be thinking that speaker, that's an average speech. No, you have to get into the mind and mind of the speaker, so that you can give real good feedback for the speaker, so that next time the speaker appears in another speech, he or she takes care of those feedback. Okay, that's very important. Always be ready. Now this is the first point, always be ready. Now what is the second point? Analyze the speech. Now can you tell me, I'll just stop sharing, I'd like to take some feedback. What do you consider as taking feedback analyzing the speech and giving feedback. What are the aspects on which you analyze speeches?
Is there any key takeaways from the speech? Is there any key learning?
Takeaways, message. Yeah. So what else? I think Toastmaster Charudatta has raised his hand.
Organized thoughts of the speaker.
Organized thoughts. How you have structured your speech? Structure, message. Anything else?
Like
Conclusion of the meeting.
Conclusion of the speech. Yeah, to some extent, that is also the message, right? So, what message you have given? You have talked about something, but your intent was to deliver some message. So that is what Supradeep said. Structure, message. What else?
How
yeah,
does it
so
impact the audience?
Impact the audience. Yeah, engagement level with the audience. Whatever you said, if you
Yes.
are engaging, like people have got curiosity, was leaning into it, they got emotionally impacted after you said, got inspired, motivated, emotional engagement. What else?
how much confident he was, and
How much confident he was? Yeah,
Himashu?
absolutely.
use of gestures, modulation,
Ma?
stage,
Please
how he was hovering around.
Sure. Anything else? All good points, Rajendra. You're a seasoned Toastmaster. Okay. Anything else? Julfikar, you have unmuted. You want to share something?
I think speaker should give proper answers. Every speaking, some people have some questions, Q&A, we can say that he should give the proper answers. So audience should satisfy. Proper answers should be what I think.
So that's question answer session, but you also mentioned a valid point, wonderful point. So there will be a lot of questions in the mind of the audience. He should be able to articulate those questions, like those unsaid questions also he should be said before even being asked, right? That's a wonderful point. Hussein, you raised your hand, you wanted to say something? You're on mute.
I really like to give chance to guests. I think guest Sushma wanted to talk.
Shushma.
Yeah, I think she unmuted.
Where is Shushma? I don't see. Shushma. Shantala I see, but Shushma, I don't see anybody named Shushma. Is it somebody named?
It's a guest, Toastmaster Sushma.
Okay. Shushma, can you unmute yourself? Or you Shushant you are talking about?
Maybe. Right. My actual intention is that I would like to really give a lot of chance to guests because we have a lot of guests.
Sure. Absolutely. Jay had raised hand. Okay. Can you unmute yourself?
Samit.
Yeah.
So probably some of the points have already been mentioned by some of the colleagues here. So like body language. So that can be one of the reason to analyze the speech. So how the speaker, how he or she is maintaining his or her
body language. Yeah. Body language, confidence, gesture. I think these are important.
Other than that, it could be the speech should not be like boring kind of thing. So it should not be a lengthy. It should be a specific to the topic.
Precise, concise.
Precise, concise. Yeah, exactly.
Engaging, curious, entertaining as well. Okay, so there are different flavors of speech. Okay, wonderful. So I think all of you.
One more thing I would like to add.
Yes,
I was reading the Toastmaster magazine, right? So a speaker, if he comes on a stage, sometimes he might be bluffing, just for giving a speech, that's fine. But in case if he's just giving a research based or some informational, right? So we also need to make sure, has he done his due diligence? Is he giving a right information? Just for sake of speaking, he's just not bluffing at like that.
Absolutely. This is very, very important.
With integrity.
Yeah. So I think integrity and honesty, because when you are speaker, you certainly have power to influence people. And if you share wrong information in wrong context, without not research content, and you say spread fake news, I think that's not right. So that is where your integrity comes in. Yeah, Aditya, you have raised your hand. I'll just take one more feedback from Aditya, and then we'll go back to the presentation. Aditya, please.
Thank you, Samit. I just want to mention one point. Yeah, there is motive. Every speech has a motive, and motive is a very strong key point, and it should be a very clear and perspective way.
Sure. Yeah, I think absolutely. You mentioned a wonderful thing, which is very important. Every speech has got an objective, whether it's a It's an inspirational speech or a motivational speech or an informational speech or an entertaining speech. Every speech should communicate something and has got some objective. So that's where we start analyzing a speech. Very well said, Aditya. Okay, so now again sharing this, if you can see my screen. When you start looking out somebody's speech, as evaluator, like you sit with a bowl, right? With a bowl, and you look at the structure, as you said, the content, the body language, the vocal variety, all these things, and you keep on putting, like filling your bowl with those points, and then you start prioritizing them, like you're getting them out, like which is right, which is not right, which I should give a feedback. What is that point? I'm going to talk about that, right? So you analyze the speech first. Okay, so that is about the analysis of the speech. Then what you analyze is, see, as many of you have said, emotional connect, how that happens. Typically the connection with a speech or the content of a speech is at 3 layers. First, we talk about incidents. We talk about what happened to me. I was in Hong Kong. What Supradeep said, I was in Hong Kong. Then people are talking in Chinese and Mandarin. I don't learn a single thing. That is incident. If you go deeper, which Supradeep went, I couldn't learn a thing. I was there for months. I was wondering. I was breaking my head. The frustration, the anger, the what should I say? Insecurity, not being able to understand, not being able to do. That should come out. So that is the second thing, which is emotions. That should come out. You can do through dialogues, gesture, voice, vocal variety, voice modulation, and then suddenly something happens, and then you go much deeper and you talk about some universal truth of life. You say it is not important what language you speak in. Maybe this is not what Supradeep said, but I'm just saying it doesn't matter what language you speak in. Emotions are universal. Whether you are in Hong Kong, whether you are in Mumbai, whether you are in Pune, whether you are in China, whether you are in San Francisco, emotions are universal. So something like that. Okay. So at speech, you have got different levels of information and emotion. Okay. And that is where your audience engagement happens. I think many of you have got it right. Audience engagement is very important. And last thing is, whenever I am giving a feedback, if I am an evaluator, I also think about, like if you say a 2x2 matrix, which typically a consultant does, what is relevant for this speaker? Like if the speaker is just started, speaker has just started 1 month, 2 months into Toastmasters, I'll give some feedback which is about the fundamentals of speech. But the speaker has been there for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. Speaker has to move people, make a big impact or win contests. I'll give different sort of inputs. Okay, so that is very, very specific to the speaker, and that is where what will make an impact, what is relevant for the speaker, and also what is relevant for the speech. But more than that, what is relevant for the speaker, I talk about that. That is evaluating the speaker. So essentially, when I'm analyzing the speech, I'm doing all 3 things at the same time. I'm analyzing the speech, I'm analyzing the level of audience engagement, because speech is of the people, of the speaker probably, but for the speaker and by for the speaker, maybe by the speaker, but of the audience and by the audience, because they are thinking in their mind what is going to happen to me, right? So you need to reflect them. You tell them something, you tell them, again, I'm calling back to Supradeep's speech. He said, has it happened to you? Have you felt safe? Like he talked about workplace safety, and he talked about that, right? So that is reflection. He wants us as an audience to reflect in our life and think what similar situation has happened in the meeting or otherwise whenever we have come across that situation. This is very important. Analyzing the speech. So just once more. So 2 things I have talked about. Which are the 2 things? Anybody wants to remember and rephrase? Yeah, Charudha.
The very first was always be ready and always be present there. The second, you said that it is needed that you have empathy with the speaker, and we have to think from speaker point of view as well. And in addition to that, you mentioned how the process of analyzing speech went from incident to emotions, and emotions to the universal truth.
Sure. So first is how you become a speaker. Like always be ready as an evaluator, right? So you don't become ready to evaluate a speech. You always remain an evaluator, whatever is the situation, with empathy, with curiosity. And second, with these aspects, like how to analyze a speech, how to analyze the emotion and audience engagement, how to analyze the speaker what is relevant for the speaker, how the speaker can be more impactful, you bring out the second point, which is how to analyze the speech. Now these things are done. Now I am going to share with you what is the third important thing. Any idea what is the third most important thing? Anybody?
Articulation.
Arranging.
Yeah, absolutely. Articulation. And this is where this thing comes in. When you are thinking as an evaluator, you should be thinking analytically, but delivery should be emotional, motivational, so that the person takes it. Because life is not a courtroom, right? So if you say, I am right, you are wrong. What you said is this. These are not right. If you say that way, your acceptance to the speaker as an evaluator, your acceptance to the speaker is low. So you have to tell it in such a way that the person accepts this, because Toastmaster doesn't create a breed of court lawyers, right? So we create motivational speakers who can motivate. And if you see how even in court, the lawyers, when they appeal to the jury, like in India, that jury system is not there, but whenever they appeal to the judge, the way they speak, there is always an emotion behind it, right? It's not just the facts, but the implication of the facts and a bigger truth. That is where you go not from the incidents to emotion, personal emotions of people, and universal truth, like what is important for humankind, right? So those things come about. So analytical thinking, but motivational delivery. But how do we do that? I'll give you 2 tips. First of all, in Toastmaster, we follow this thing, right? So this is called the sandwich. Like we keep on saying that evaluation is the breakfast of the champions. Like if you want to be a good speaker, you should chew the feedbacks, okay? Feedback coming from people. And how the feedback is in the form of sandwich. What is a sandwich? You have got 2 layers of bread, and in between you have got the stuff. If you are vegetarian, there is vegetarian thing, and if you are non-vegetarian, there will be chicken, fish, there could be a number of things, right? It could be lamb, it could be beef, pork, anything could be there, right? So depending on what is there in the middle, actually the taste of the sandwich is determined, but you cannot understand that until and unless you are chewing it, okay? So if you see, this is the secret sauce. So whenever you give somebody a feedback, first talk about all the good things, commendation, then you give the feedback, constructive feedback, which needs to be improved upon, and then again you wrap that up with a lot of good things, okay? So good things, package is good, but in the middle you have got also things which have to be improved. If you give this, then people can, like, first see good things, his heart opens up, he accepts whatever you are saying, because you are saying good things. Then you give what needs to be recommended, what needs to be improved, accepts, continues to accept, and then you wrap that up with again good things. So continue to accept and be accepting to whatever you say, okay? And if you do that good, no, you are going to be lifelong evaluator for that speaker. If you really are truthful and give those input in the motivational manner, with the right emotional construct. I'm going to talk about that. How do you do that? But before that, as I said, I didn't say this. Consider your evaluation is also just like another speech, okay? And this recommendation and commendation is the body of that speech. And then you start that with an opening and end that with a conclusion. I typically open that with a callback from the speech. Say, Supradeep has talked about workplace safety and has talked about his stint in Hong Kong, his chance encounter with manager. I'll call back and start with something like that. And then we'll talk about that speech in general. That is the opening. Then we'll talk about what I liked in Supradeep's speech. You'll get to hear from me. Then what can be improved in his speech. And I end with something which again I found very good. And if I am to remember only one thing in his speech, this is what I will remember is this speech for me, for the rest of my life, okay? And the conclusion, I conclude that typically with some universal truth and look forward to the speaker's future speeches, things like that. Opening, body, and conclusion. Consider your evaluation also a speech, motivational speech, just 2 to 3 minutes, okay? And how do you do that? How do you motivate that? And there is a very crisp way of doing that. The commendation which we are giving to the speaker, we have to do it wholeheartedly. I say, Supradeep, anyway, I'm going to talk about that. I'm not talking about Supradeep, but I'm saying, say Hussain. Hussain has opened up the meeting today. He's playing the Toastmaster of the day meeting for the very first time. if I have to congratulate him, I'll do that wholeheartedly, because not everybody takes that risk. I must say him that there are two types of people in this world. People who take chances, who are ready to fail, but try to do something. And there are people who don't try at all. And I congratulate you and I thank you for being in the first category, because that is where it matters. That is where you improve upon. So that is where I commend. Then I recommend. How I recommend? I recommend recommendation. If you are giving negative things, you are talking about negative things, you have to be very, very specific. You cannot generalize, I didn't like your speech. The speaker will immediately close down. He'll say, I'm not saying to Hussein because it may not be right for me to do. Say, I have given a speech. So, for example, I have driving this speech. If you say, Samit, I didn't like your presentation. It's the color combination I didn't like. If that is the point, you cannot say, Samit, I didn't like your presentation. I didn't like the colors. You say, Samit, when you are giving presentation to an audience like this, people are all looking up to you. They want to hear every single word from you. In one word can change their lives. Please make sure that word is in the right color, with the right bracket, in the right structure, content, whatever you want to say. But you need to make sure you create the context why that is important and be very specific what you are talking about. Okay, and that is where you can establish a credible point of view. But that credible point of view is like debatable. So if you say draw, I have heard a world champion speaker and he does this, that is a credible point of view. If you say that Postmaster manual says that an evaluation should be CRC method, or world champion speaker or a champion speaker like Charudat, he uses CRC method. Okay, so then that becomes a gold standard. You can use that as a credible point of view. Okay, and then you finish that with another good things. So Pradeep, if I remember your speech, I'll always remember your experience in Hong Kong and how that changed your life. Thanks for sharing that with us. I look forward to your next speeches. Something like that. Okay. So that is how you want to motivate people. Okay. So before I go on to the next slide, which is the last, I think my time is also up. I have to just take some feedback from you about motivation. Anybody wants to share anything, like whether what I said, does it make sense in so far as motivation is concerned, or you think it has got some different connotation? Avijit.
Yeah. There were some great points that were clear for me, and especially the CRC method I will start implementing, and thanks for that.
Sure. You can give your feedback to your manager. You will be the best employee in the team. Okay.
Yeah.
The CRC. Okay. You always tell, whenever I work with you, I feel so inspired. That is the C. And then you give the feedback, whatever you want to tell. If I get a good hike, that will be great. Okay. And then C.
He will catch me with it.
Okay. So then do another C. Okay. But whatever happens, I'll remain in your team. Something like that. Okay.
Sure.
So I'm just saying, yeah, no problem. Avanti, anything you want to share? Avanti, unmute yourself. I see your hand.
I also like the CRC, the opening body and conclusion. And also I'd like to that sentence that evaluation is also a speech. So, it should be a structure one. So it's really nice, because when we give some feedback, we randomly come to some point and, just throw it as if, the person is delivering and we are the judge. But this is the, right sentence so that we can judge, or we can keep our statement very structurally.
Absolutely.
So I like
Absolutely. And if you just say, it is not rocket science. If you just say 30 seconds, you just write down the points and in which sequence you are going to say, that makes the magic. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. So now coming back to my slides again. Okay. So now I will not take more than a couple of minutes. Okay. So this brings, and now just to summarize, I say, always be ready with your curiosity, with your empathy. You be there, and if you need a role model, just look at Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Okay, what he has done and what he continues to do. 50 times, 300 times or 500 times, going up and down on a day just to keep wicket keeper. That will not be on the scorecard, but still he does that because he wants to make India win, right? So you can make a speaker win by doing those things. Analyzing the speech, how do we analyze the speech? We don't just analyze the speech, we analyze the speech we analyze the speech from an audience point of view. Also, we analyze the points which we need to give to the speaker and analyze them from the speaker's frame of reference as well. And last, how we can be analytical in our thinking but be motivational in our delivery. Okay. Now I keep on doing evaluations for a long time. This is actually in other club I'm also part of. There we meet every other week. But in Wipro also I had some old pictures I couldn't lay my hands onto, so I couldn't have that. But I remember 10 years back when I started, 2 months into Toastmaster, I delivered my first speech in Toastmasters. Okay, and there was this evaluator who evaluated me, and while delivering the first speech, let me just stop sharing. Let me see you as well. So I just delivered this speech, and before delivering the speech, I thought, what should I tell and what should I write in my icebreaker speech? Then I wrote that down with time and prepared it really well. I talked about my parents. I talked about my parents' dreams. I talked about my childhood. I talked about my student life, how naughty I was, how I used to take shortcuts, how I always used to play prank. Then I talked about my professional life, how some chance encounter with some managers, just like Supradeep's manager, like they changed my life and my perspective in life and what I look forward to in life. Okay, it was about a 6-minute speech, and after I delivered the speech, I thought it was not so well. Okay, people clapped. In Toastmasters, I know that people are clap masters, right? So people clap, and all of them encouraged me. Now, when the evaluator came to evaluate, and that evaluator I still remember, his name is Bikram Jamal. He works with TCS. He used to work with TCS, still works with TCS 10 years. So I think that's why TCS attrition is very low. So he came and he said, Samit, I don't know if anybody has ever told this to you. If I have to give only one feedback to you, I'll tell you, you are a wonderful speaker because you are vulnerable and you talk about your own weaknesses and your wrong sides to people. And whenever we hear that, we know you are for real. And I don't know what you are going to do in Toastmasters, but I know it for sure you are going to be a good speaker if you really speak on. And that stayed with me. My confidence immediately showed like a blue chip stock, right? So, and I listened to him and I told him thank you. And he actually stood up and gave me a standing ovation. And seeing him, all our people stood up and gave me a standing ovation. And I said, oh my God, I'll be in Toastmasters. And so when I remember this, not just because he had the boost of confidence in me, but also what evaluators mean to a speaker. If as an evaluator, you are really curious, you have the empathy, you can analyze the speech, you know this person is getting started or this person is in Toastmasters for more than 2 years, what feedback you need to give to that person. And the way you think, you need to alter a little bit the sequencing and the feedback you give to the speaker. And if you do all these things well, you will be the god to the speaker and you will really add value in the life of the speaker, and the speaker will go several notches up. And most thing is, people will find out a way, but they will find out a way only if they are motivated. And your and my job as an evaluator is to give them the motivation, because you know why? This is the reason. This is what Walt Whitman says. Always keep your face towards the sunshine. There might be a lot of negative things in the speaker, but the speaker will be able to flourish if you can just give him the good side of life, the good things in him, the not so good things, but which can be better if he plays on and develops his strength on them, and then the shadow will just fall behind them. They should face themselves, they should face the sunshine, and you will be the sunshine for that speaker. Okay, and that's all which I wanted to speak. Please remain motivated to be a motivated evaluator, so that the speaker could be much more motivated and can also do a better job. Thank you for listening to me. I'll just have 2-3 questions. If you still have, I have already interacted with you, but if we have time, timer, do we have time?
Unfortunately, sir, we are already over time limit. So we can take questions offline. They can ping you in the chat box.
Over 30 minutes, I spoke. Sorry. I was in the flow. Sorry about that.
You got carried away.
Okay. So with that, thanks for listening to me. And I wish you a wonderful meeting continued. And over to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Hussain.